Hey team, CJ here, and I have the awesome Dr. Seiss, our partner, here at Evolve Strong. She's a medical professional and she owns her own medical spa. But today, let's talk a little bit about the picture we wanna cover and the group that we want. So, middle-aged, female, okay, and we are somehow all of a sudden starting to gain weight. We're
Yep.
starting to feel a little bit more fluffy. The same things we did before in order to lose weight no longer are working.
Right.
And we're starting to have sleepless nights. We're starting to, have these hot flashes. We're starting to have a lot of things going on, right? And with our body, and we're starting to get really frustrated. Dr. Seiss, tell me what's going on.
Oh gosh, there is so much going on in our bodies. First of all, our bodies are amazing. And so we really should wake up every morning just being thankful for what our bodies can do each and every day. That's the first thing I think we should all just first
I
be aware of.
I agree with
Our bodies are amazing. But you're right. When you get to be past the age, usually of, 35 to 40, which is very young,
Sure.
you start to see really small and mild changes in your body. You don't have as much energy maybe as you used to. It's not as easy to take off that 5 pounds that you put on when you went to Vegas when you come back home. All those kind of things are much more difficult as we age. And there's definitely a reason for that. And it's actually an evolutionary reason. And we can't help it. There's nothing we can do about it. But there are some small, simple things. One specifically that I think is the most important, if you only had to take one thing out of our talk today, that we can do to help our bodies to work for us in the best way that they can at whatever age we are.
Sure. So tell me what we with the listener out there. So their avatar is you.
Okay.
Their avatar is you.
Yep.
So being a fitness professional, and I've kind of have a foothold obviously with your avatar. That's I'm a group fitness guy, and lots of ladies love the group fitness, and that's how I've become successful with this. And a lot of individuals get really flustered and frustrated that even though they're moving more, even though they're trying to reduce calories, the tried and true stuff is not working anymore. So why is that? Why is that? Why isn't the tried and true not working? Can I go a little bit more in detail with that?
Yes. Well, so it has a lot of times it has to do with hormones and hormone balance. I talk about hormone balance in a way that the easiest way that I can explain it is, the top four hormones that we're talking about: testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and this is a surprise for most people, but vitamin D. Vitamin D is a
Ah,
hormone.
interesting.
Most people think of vitamin D as a vitamin because it's
Yeah.
called vitamin D, but it is fat soluble. It works at the cellular level as like a hormone does, and it is essential to hormone balance.
Okay. Okay.
So a simple way of thinking about this is if you have four jars, okay, we have our four jars. One is testosterone, one's progesterone, one's estradiol, and one's our vitamin D. Four jars, and they each have 100 pennies of each of those hormones in them.
Okay.
If you have 100 pennies in each jar, then we have this little molecule in our body that's called sex binding globulin. It looks like an everlasting gobstopper. Now I'm aging myself from Willy Wonka, if you
Okay.
guys know what that means. But it has little arms on it, just like this. And it goes around and it figures out from our DNA and everything else what we need, what our muscles need, what our skin needs, what everything needs in our system. And then it goes to those four little jars. Now, this is overly simplified. And it takes from each jar what it needs and it deposits it.
Okay.
If you're working out like crazy, our muscles need it. Our muscles need it. We're burning off, and our muscles need. We want to get that lean muscle mass back.
Sure.
So we're going in and we're taking from these jars and we're sending it to our muscles.
Okay.
So even if one of those jars is deplete of its 100 pennies or its 100 sections of that hormone, then sex binding globulin skips over that jar and goes to the ones that have the more in it. So you're not getting a full hormone balance in your body if your four primary jars aren't full.
Interesting. Ah, that is okay. That is probably the best way in which I've ever had that described. Seriously, that is awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I think this is going to be a longer discussion.
Yep.
So here at Evolve, and just in general, like the individuals that you're listening to this, we painted the avatar. You understand that the problem. Now, what can we do as a solution? So how we approach it here, the number one thing is don't give up, right?
Don't give up.
And you got to keep fighting, because if you give up, then those jars just deplete completely. And everything just goes haywire. Is that
Everything
correct?
goes haywire. And plus, we're forgetting the main foundation of, hey, you know what? If you're here at all, your body is amazing because it got you here. It's able to work out. Many people can't even get off that couch. And so you're
I know.
doing it. And so we just have to be happy and remember that basically our bodies are amazing. Just say it a million times. Our bodies are amazing. Everything else will come, but everybody kind of turns at their own time. And in my experience in women's health, women will turn at different times. So some women might lose right away. Some women might not lose till the halfway mark, and some women might lose at the very end. Some might not lose at all, but they'll start to see a difference in their body, and they will just feel good about an accomplishment that they have overcome.
Sure. So, this is going to be a conversation that I think that we can continue to keep going forward because this is something that we face here all of the time, especially individuals who just don't see the scale moving right away, including those of you from around the world. If you're just listening to us and you're hearing about, we're just experts here trying to, well, we think we're experts. They say, but
Me
for
too.
some reason, we got experts. But
Yeah,
I
maybe.
know, have you ever thought about this like overnight, then all of a sudden you're considered an expert? Like, how did I get to this point?
Yeah, and do I
Well,
deserve it? Wait a minute.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
let's just
no,
say that
yes.
we're people that are in the field that are working it every single god darn day and that we
Right.
see it
And
constantly. All right.
and we care.
And we care. That's
Yeah.
a big thing. But, I'm going to come back to the
Hmm.
fundamentals, you know, and it's always coming back to that Phoenix method of making sure that you're moving no less than 4 hours a week, no
Correct.
less, always maintaining a great diet log. And the reason we say diet log, it's not about a diet because the moment you get off a diet or try and get on a diet, you've lost the battle, right?
Right.
But what we can do with this, with a log, is we can begin seeing kind of the inventory. So it's funny how you say the pennies, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes our diet historically has gotten us to this certain point. We need to maybe switch things up a little bit. Maybe
Correct.
we need to bring down the inflammatory diet, the things that make us inflame, that cause us to have bad joints and stuff. But maybe we need a little bit more of the rainbow of vegetables to help fill in some of those stores, the building blocks for the vitamins and the nutrition, right? I mean, it could play a big
Absolutely.
part.
Yep.
And then, third, we talk about just being accountable, just getting someone to help with this, finding a doc who can actually look at and see what's going on internally and actually finding out and figuring out, hey, there may be some things that we can do to help with this from an expert's position. Is that correct?
Oh, it's 100% correct. And this all starts from, way back when, from an evolutionary standpoint. I mean, if you think way back to caveman days, were we expected to live past the age of 25 or 30? Probably not.
Yeah.
We were going to be eaten by
Yeah.
something. I mean, or our eyesight got bad and we're done. If you think about it in those kind of ways, it just makes sense. I was talking to CJ about it, and I can remember when I was 25, like it was yesterday. And I remember being 25, being kind of in really good shape, feeling good, being able to, like I said, gain a few pounds, but able to, hey, I'm just going to work out a little bit and those pounds will melt off. And it was true because everything in your body is optimized. And that's for most people, of course, not everybody, but for the majority. So at age 25, all of our hormones, all of our nutrition, everything is being optimized at its full potential at age 25. Then we get to about 30, we start to slightly come down. Our hormone levels start to drop. It becomes, but not a big difference. You're still good. But then at age 35 is when we kind of take our biggest downward trend with hormones. Our
Sure.
hormones really start adjusting. For a lot of women out there, you've heard the thing. It's harder to get pregnant after the age of 35. And physiologically, it just is because your hormones have already started to change. So 35, you get your first big drop. Then it kind of levels off again until you get to be about 40. And then 40, you get another pretty big drop.
Yeah.
And this isn't always like 40 exactly. It could be within your early 40s. And then the biggest drop of all is when you become perimenopausal. You really start to go down, and then menopause, you drop all the way down. But if you are checking these levels and doing what you can with diet, there are a lot of things that can,
Huge.
vitamin D, the sun is one thing, but now we all cover ourselves up and use sunscreen. But there are supplements for vitamin D. You can increase your estradiol, you can increase your testosterone, all those things just through diet alone and make yourself feel better
Sure.
at any stage.
But you do what I would highly suggest though, find someone who knows what they're doing. And that is the
Yes.
resources where we're at. So what I would recommend to you guys, if you have comments, if you want questions, you can reach us immediately. Just all the posts that you're going to see right here on any of the social media that you're listening to this with, and then all the private stuff that are going through, just respond, just hit us up. I will share this information. You will actually have her direct line, email into her facility too. And, please use us as a resource. That's what we're here for. And
Yes.
as a community, to help support individuals better themselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. And so,
Yes.
hey, as always, my partner in crime right here, we're going to continue this conversation. And I think our next one is going to be actual action items that you can take in order to combat some of the weight gain. I think
Yeah.
that let's hit that target on the next one.
I
Is
think
that fair?
that sounds perfect. Now that we have the foundation, I think it sounds perfect. Unless anybody in comments or whatever says
Yep.
they want something totally different, but let's go with that.
Yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to release this probably every Monday at 11 a.m. Every Monday at 11 a.m. over the next, couple weeks. So just letting you guys know, leave your comments, share this. We would really do appreciate that. Take advantage of all the free resources we have on our social media for workouts all the way into diets. And you can get on our newsletter. We have some great healthy newsletters. So from our heart to yours, thank you guys.